السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يا أستاذ حياك الله. اللهم آمين. اللهم حينا جميعا. A sister has many children and no one to help her. Family life is difficult and she struggles with her children. Her relatives tell her she shouldn't have had so many kids. How should she respond? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Wallahi sisters, having a lot of children is a blessing. It's a ni'mah min ni'amillahi azza wa jalla. Don't let anyone ever belittle you or even speak down at you for having a lot of children. The Prophet ﷺ, he told us in a hadith, he said, alayhi salatu wasalam, increase in the children that you have. تزوجوا الولود الودود فإني مكاثر بكم الأمم يوم القيامة. The Prophet said, love the woman who loves to have a lot of children. The woman who makes it her mission to make her husband love her. The woman who wants to have a lot of children, this is a good woman, it's a good wife. And in the community and the society that we live in today, if a woman wants to have a lot of children for her husband, she's belittled for it. Okay? And if a woman tries her best to make her husband love her, or even her husband loves her, but she works to get that love to grow, just like he does the same for her, a lot of people, they insult that woman and say, what are you doing? Don't do this to yourself, be strong. And that's evil people. The wife and the husband, they work towards making each other love each other more and more and more and more. And the children, having a lot of children is a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look at the people who can't have children. Look at Nabiullah Zakaria when he said, يعني كافها يا عين صاد ذكر رحمة ربك عبده زكريا إذ نادى ربه نداء خفيا قال رب إني وهن العظم مني واشتعل الرأس شيبا ولم أكن بدعائك ربي شقيا. And he's begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the ayah that I mentioned in Surah Al-Anbiya, when Zakaria asked Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, Rabbi la tadharni fardan wa anta khayrul warithin. Oh Allah, don't make me alone, give me children. So having a lot of children is a blessing. There are people trying to have children and can't have children. It's a blessing. Allah gave you a lot of children. So you have to understand that's a ni'mah min ni'amillahi tabarak wa ta'ala. Okay? And Allah mentioned this about prophets. Allah mentions about the prophets. يعني وَوَهَبْنَا لَهُمْ أَزْوَاجًا وَذُرِّيَّةً. Allah says we gave them children and families. Having children is a blessing, and having kids. That being said now, okay? Raising children is a struggle. Naam, it is. Your lifestyle changes, brothers and sisters. Your lifestyle changes. What you used to want to do for yourself and enjoy yourself now becomes secondary. The primary goal becomes the children. This is something we should enjoy and give our time to our children. They need to get our time. They need to get our emotions on the table for them. We need to connect with our children, brothers and sisters. We chose to bring them into this world. It's disgusting, wallahi, when you see men who have children with women and they forsake their children. It's disgusting and it is despicable, wallah. You brought these children into this world and now you forsake your children? You don't care about their financial needs? You don't care about their emotional needs? You don't care about their education? You don't care about anything? Even if two parents go separate ways and they don't understand each other, humans may not understand each other. You and this woman could possibly not be on the same page and you might go your separate ways. It could happen. But that's not what you do with your children. You don't go separate ways from your children. These are your children. You fight for them, you work for them, you exert effort. You connect with your children, brothers and sisters. Awlad are a blessing. If the two parents have fighted and they have their conflicts and divorce, the children did not pick that fight. And they should not be part of the problem. They shouldn't see all of that. They should get the chance of having a good upbringing. And that's what should be given to them. It's sad, we're seeing a lot of women who are single mothers who are raising the children by themselves. No one's helping them. They're not getting no financial help. They're not getting no emotional help. They're not getting no physical help, nothing. And some men are in the relationship and they have no use for their own children. It's embarrassing. It's truly, truly embarrassing. And then the man starts running around and saying, الرِّجَالُ قَوَّامُونَ عَلَى النِّسَاءِ, that the men are responsible over the women. What responsibility have you chosen? And he chooses to say, I can marry another one. What can you do? You can't. You're irresponsible. You're not looking after your own children right now that need you. This is the truth. This is a sad reality. And now then comes out a whole entire generation of children who are on the streets selling drugs and problems. Why? Because the father chose not to do it. And I'm being honest. The problem, a lot of it lies with the brothers. It really lies with the brothers. Yani I remember at one point in the UK we had a meeting. I tried to organize a program where the mothers and the fathers had to come and the children were also there. And now for the first time we were trying to open an open dialogue between the parents and the children to talk to each other and to be honest with one another. What is happening and where things going wrong. This was in London. The fathers were invited, the mothers were invited, and the children were invited. Guess who came? The fathers came. Sorry. The children came. The children, they came. And who also came? The mothers came. Who didn't come? The fathers. One father came, and after a little bit he left. He just walked away when he saw nobody else is there. It's the mother running around. It's the mother doing everything. It's the mother taking the children everywhere. It's the mother that's everything. And then that man has the audacity to say, I have, أنا رجل, I'm a man. You're not a man, you're nothing. You're pathetic, that's what you are. You've forsaken your own children and you've forsaken them. Haqiqah. And this is, I'm really being honest with you, and I mind my language, but this is common in the Western world that I've seen. And around the world, other places. Yani you see that. And I don't, my frustration and my anger rises because I see innocent children dying and getting destroyed because of this ignorance that a lot of fathers are taking. Some of them are present and they're absent at the same time. They're in that relationship with the mother, but they don't play no role in the upbringing of your children. Ya ikhwa, wallahi, every single person will be asked about their responsibility yawm al-qiyamah. ما من عبد يسترعيه الله الرعية يموت يوم يموت وهو غاش للرعية إلا حرم الله عليه الجنة. Wallahi, there is not a problem. There is not a person who has been given responsibility and forsakes his responsibility except that he will be asked about it yawm al-qiyamah. Wallahi, you're going to be asked about those children. Wallahi, every single thing they do wrong, you're going to be asked about it. Have you done your part? Have you raised your children properly? Also on the sister's side, there's another sad reality, which is that they play the stubbornness of not letting the father play a role in his children's lives sometimes. There's situations like that as well. When the father is planning for his children and he wants to give his children a good future and he's setting a good goal for them and he's part of their life. In their monetary needs, he's there for them. Physical need, what they need, he's there for them. The emotional needs, he's there for them. And then guess what? The mother blocks all of that from the father. You are an enemy of your own children. You're not an enemy to anybody else except your own children. You're an enemy to your children. Okay? What you all have to understand, brothers and sisters, that consciously chose to get into a relationship and a marriage. The relationship between you and your wife is different from the relationship to you and your children. There's always going to be that relationship between you and your children, regardless. Even if the relationship between you and your wife comes to an end. Okay? So I say, brothers and sisters, your children. سَتُسْأَلُونَ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. You'll be asked about these innocent children. You need to think about them as a father who cares about them day in, day out. That should be your focus point. Your children, how are they going to be tomorrow? Look at the prophets of the Quran. Look at the prophets and the Quran. وَوَصَّى بِهَا إِبْرَاهِيمُ بَنِيهِ وَيَعْقُوبُ يَا بَنِيَّ إِنَّ اللَّهَ اصْطَفَى لَكُمُ الدِّينَ فَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. What were they saying? They're giving wasiyah to their children. They're speaking to their children before they pass away. And they're saying to them, don't die except in a state of iman. They focus on their children. They give them that time. That's what you need to have. Don't call other people to Islam and propagate the da'wah of Islam and be an active da'i if your own children are on the streets. Stop it. Cancel all of that. And sit down with your own children and educate your children and progress with your children. I'm not saying the guidance is in the father's hand or the mother's hand. The guidance is in the hands of Allah. إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي مَنْ أَحْبَبْتَ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ. Guidance is in Allah's hands. But the cultivation and the nurturing is in the parents' hands. And the child, while he's young, it's your responsibility to nurture the child properly. Why is it the mother only the one that has to think about the children? Why? Why is she the only one that needs to think about it? Why is she the only one that has to worry about their upbringing and their lifestyle and everything? Why is it only the mothers are the ones bringing their children to the Quran classes and they're talking about the progression of their children? Where's the father? Where are you? What are you doing? What are you up to? It's not going to be an excuse for you to say, Ya Rabb, 9 to 5, I had a job. Work, make money for your children, of course, but be part of their life. It's a waste of time of these children that you take. It's time that you're taking away from your children. Those fathers that are sitting in restaurants, talking about politics, watching football, talking about those. Focus on your children. Ya ikhwatil karam, billahi alaykum, billahi alaykum. When are you guys going to wake up? When are you guys going to wake up and see the reality of what's happening to your own children? When are you going to really smell the coffee? When are you going to realize what's taking place, wallah? Your children are all on the streets. Your children are doing crimes after crimes and they're committing atrocities. Why? Because you guys have forsaken them. Wallahi satus'aluna yawm al-qiyamah. Wallahi you'll be questioned and you need to have answers for that yawm al-qiyamah. Wallahi you need to. Think about the children now. When they're 5 years old, start thinking about them. Don't waste their time by bringing them gadgets and phones and playing around with them like that. Think about your children's education. Tarbiyah of the children is not the food only you give them. It's mentally raising them, ya ikhwah. This is something frustrating, wallahi, when you look at it. You hear a child at the age of 18, 17, 19, he died on the streets because he overdosed on drugs. Or that boy shot another boy and now he's in prison, lifetime prison has been given to him. Inshallah ta'ala.